Well, welcome everyone to Love versus Hate. My name is Anne, and I am your old-fashioned nerd.
And I'm Emily, and I am not your old-fashioned nerd.
This is true.
I'm your mainstream millennial.
This is also true. And Emily and I like to debate, and we like to argue because we disagree on a lot of things about what we love and hate.
Ooh, I love how you switched it up there.
Thank you. Sometimes I try.
There you go. And sometimes everyone always agrees with me.
Sometimes everyone always agrees with me.
Sometimes.
So it really just depends on your opinion. So maybe we should just let it go, Emily. Just let it go.
Let it go. Okay.
Okay.
If you insist.
We're doing something a little bit, I don't know, it's not really different, but we're talking about colors. Because you know what? There are colors that people love and there are colors that people hate. And I just want to talk about it. Also, just so everyone is aware, I went to school for art. I have an art degree. And so we talked a lot about colors. Colors are important. Emily, do you love colors? Do you care? She's yawning right now. Literally. That's what that pause was, people.
Yeah, colors, they're cool.
What's your favorite color?
Probably purple.
Okay.
I don't have an exact shade to tell you. But like, I guess like, I don't know.
Okay. Just all shades of purple, maybe?
Ooh, you know
maybe
what?
You're not biased against purple.
I really don't like the dark purple. I like the brighter, but
Pastel?
not neon. Yeah, pastel. That's a good one. That's
Yeah.
a good word.
Thank you.
Lilac, pastel.
Lilac is really pretty. I also do like pastels. I do. They like, and for listeners who may not know what pastel is, that's like picture like baby. I'm assuming you are, but I don't know. Emily, don't assume that our listeners always know everything.
Oh my gosh.
What? I didn't even get to finish saying what pastels are because Emily's just over there laughing at me.
And for listeners who don't know what pastel is, it's like...
I'm just saying.
What is it? How do you describe pastel?
I describe it as like, those baby colors that are those light blues, light yellow, light pink, light purple, light green. Like, you can picture it like there's those baby colors. That's pastel.
Oh, I would describe it more as Easter colors.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that works too.
And listeners, if you don't know what Easter is...
Sorry.
Oh, and also listeners, Anne, did you want to tell them what a baby is?
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know you're all smart. You all are. If you didn't know what pastel is, you should tell us because now I feel stupid. But if you're out there, you're welcome.
Anne's like, I have an art degree. I know what pastel means.
Hey, you couldn't remember the word.
I wasn't thinking of that word. I was just trying to describe the color. Anyways, I also like a mauve. And listeners, if you don't know what that color is, it's really hard to explain, but it's like a pink, rosy, dusty rose mauve color. Yes, I just used the word in the definition because
I'm
I'm cool.
Thinking that.
Anyways, Anne, what's your favorite color?
I really like blues and greens, and I don't like when they are super bright. Like, I don't like super bright greens. That's like those like neon greens. I'm like you. I don't really particularly like the neon colors. Mm-hmm. So I like any spectrum of green and blue minus the neon, and I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Especially together. They make a really good combo.
But, oh my gosh, we kind of like, this is really random that I thought of this, but Monsters, Inc.?
Yes.
Sully and Mike.
Yes.
Purple, blue, and green.
Oh my gosh, that is really random, but I love it.
We should be Sully and Mike for Halloween.
Okay, who's who?
I feel like I have to be Mike Wazowski. He's like the annoying one that's like...
He's kind of the particular one.
Yeah.
I feel like out of the two of us, you're a little bit more particular than me.
And if you don't know what particular means...
Okay, we're not making the whole episode like this. We're sorry. You all are smart, and I believe that. Yeah, that would be kind of fun. I feel like I would make a good Sully.
I don't know how I would have my costume.
Yeah, I don't know
I don't
either.
have one eye.
Well, I mean, obviously the whole point of costumes is that you, like, like, have you seen cosplayers? We're so off tangent.
Yeah, maybe we should make a whole other episode for Halloween costumes.
That's a really good idea. Put that down in the books.
Okay. I won't, but...
That's the sound of me putting it down in the books. Yeah, so back to colors for a second. I also, like, I just think it's really fascinating to think about how color is actually light. It's like, if you look at a red apple, it's red because there is no, like, light passes through it, and all light passes through it except for red. And that's why it's red, because the light, like, gets absorbed, and that's what makes color. Does that make sense?
How?
I don't know.
I don't understand. How is the red apple red everywhere you take it? Because wouldn't the light pass through it differently in different areas? No,
like, I don't fully understand the nuance and science behind it. I just know that, like, color is, like, I see that she has an orange bag of
sun chips.
Like, every color, because color is light. So light is passing through that at all times, and we are perceiving it as we don't perceive the light like moving like that, but we are perceiving color. And so all light is passing through that. All colors are passing through except for orange. And so that's why it's like orange, because it can't pass through it. So it gets, like, I don't know if absorbed is the right word. But does that make sense? I don't think I'm describing it well.
I feel like we're talking about how feelings are truth, and it's really hard to understand.
It's hard to understand. And there's probably some listeners, like a scientist who's smart, because our listeners are very smart. They're probably like, you're not describing this well at all, and I apologize because I'm not. But it just, like, that fascinates me. And the fact that there are colors that exist that we just can't see, because our visual, like, what we can see on the light spectrum is just this tiny little fraction compared to what the light spectrum is.
I've never even heard of that before.
Really?
I've never heard of, like, hey, you're looking at an apple and it's red because that's the only color that isn't, like, passing through it or something.
Yeah, that's how colors work.
I've never heard of that before.
Science. I mean, again, I don't know exactly.
Wouldn't I learn about that in my art class or something?
I mean, I did in art class.
Well, maybe I just forgot.
Yeah, that's the most logical explanation, actually.
I remember learning about complementary colors.
Yes, can you say what they are? I got excited.
Is that the ones where they're... Is that the one where you have the color wheel and you have, like, the opposite colors are complementary?
Yes, well done, Emily.
Thanks, Anne.
You're smart, too.
I'm pretty sure, is blue and orange complementary?
Correct.
Red and green?
Yep.
Let's see. I'm just trying to think of holidays, because normally the colors are complementary. That's all I got.
Yellow
Red and yellow? No, green and yellow. No, I don't know.
Yellow and, I believe purple. Yes.
Oh.
Right? I have to look at a color wheel.
Yeah, I don't know. But also...
Yeah, purple. Got it. Nailed it.
Red, yellow, and blue.
So,
the primary
do you know
colors,
the more hard question? It's funny because a lot of people think complementary. Like, normally we use that word as, like, oh, in adjacent with. But in the color spectrum, you were absolutely right. It's the opposite. So a lot of people get confused. So do you know what the term is when colors are next to each other? Like green and yellow or green and blue? This is the harder word. I'd be surprised if you know it. But...
Neighbors.
Okay, well, no. I will be fully honest with our listeners. I did have to look it up beforehand. I tried really hard to remember it, and I couldn't, so I did have to look it up. And
I understand.
Thank you. And I know all of my art friends from college who listen to us are just disappointed in me. And trust me, I'm disappointed in myself. But the term is analogous.
Nope.
Yep, that's what that means. So that's, like I said, blue and green, or like blue and purple, or red and purple, like when they're next to each other. Analogous is the word. And then complementary is opposite.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Well, I just know complementary and primary colors.
Ooh, what are the primary colors?
Red, yellow, and blue.
Very true. Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you know why they're the primary colors?
Because you can mix them with anything and they'll create other colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
I'm so smart.
She is very smart. I don't know why, but I just find color fascinating. Like, I really love, like, kind of when we talked about in our art episode, we talked about, like, I love the Impressionist movement, and they incorporated a lot of light and color into their paintings, and, like, I just love it. And I love, like, mixing colors and just seeing kind of, like, what you get. Like, I like those abstract paintings that are very texturized with a ton of different, like, colors. Like, I see a lot of those YouTube videos where they'll, like, spin them. Like, they'll dump paint and spin. Like, I love all that kind of stuff. I just find it kind of interesting.
Have you heard of that? There's, like, a condition that some people have where they see the color, but they taste it or they hear it or something like that.
I have heard of that. Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
I can't remember. I just remember I read a book called A Mango-Shaped Space.
Oh, interesting.
And the girl would, like, I read it so long ago, but she would taste or hear or see shapes when she thought of colors or something like that.
Yeah,
And colors signified something different for her than just the actual color.
Yeah, which is just, that blows my mind, like, how our brains function and work.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I also too, I heard, I watched like a YouTube video where someone tried to describe color to someone who had been blind their whole life. And like they described red as hot and blue as cold. And like, they're just like, what does that mean? Like, color has a temperature? Like, and so in my mind, like sometimes, I don't know, this is just because I'm weird. I literally, this happens, I don't know, a couple times a month or something. I don't know. If I'm just sitting on my bed and I'm like not having to think about anything, I will literally think about how to describe colors.
Really?
I'm weird, okay? But yeah, I've literally like tried to think about it. And I'm like, it's so difficult because how do you describe shade? They don't understand even the concept of shading, you know, like I think they could understand like light and dark, which I guess, well, maybe they could. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think you can describe it as also cool or something again. Yeah. Because if they go under an area that is shaded, they'll feel that temperature difference.
That's true. But again, how do you really how can you describe blue as cool? Like, because really, I don't know. I just like, I get confused.
It's cool because when you're comparing it with other warm colors, like it's only for the people who can see that, they can see that difference. But in terms of actual description and how it describes it, it just doesn't make, it makes sense to us, but it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. Is there any colors that you hate?
Let's see. That green color that looks like diarrhea that some people wear.
Oh, yeah, I kind of know what you mean. Not great. I will say I hate yellow on me. I do not think that I look good in yellow, so I never wear yellow, ever, period.
Yeah, I don't really wear yellow a lot either. Maybe it's just because we have blonde hair, too.
I think that's part of it. And I think just like, you more than me even, are like lighter complexions. Like, it just doesn't like look as good. I've been told by multiple people that I look really good in red. So I try and I like wearing reds because apparently that's my color. I don't know.
I don't really know. I don't think I have a color. But yeah, I feel like red just pops on everyone, and everyone just like, they're like, ooh, I'm wearing red today. I'm popping out. It's can't
like a
see,
power
but I'm
color.
like,
red is like, and you know what I find very interesting is how people describe colors in terms of feeling. Like red is like aggressive or angry or
lovable
bold, or love. Yeah, it's like, or blue tends to be like sad or
calm.
Yeah. And honestly, I genuinely believe that they can make you feel those different ways. I don't know if it's because they actually do that or if it's just because that's what you hear so many times. But at the same time, like, as you guys may or may not know, Emily and I do video for a living. We make videos. We work for a video company. And I color correct a lot because I'm our lead editor. And so I'm always editing and color correcting. And depending on the mood that you want to create, like there's certain ways that you color something. Like, and I mean, you guys probably know that from like movies and stuff too. Like if you've seen Blade Runner 2049, like the color in that, oh my gosh, it's spectacular. It's so gorgeous. I love it. But it creates these moods, and like it's such a huge aspect of a movie is like the color correction.
One other example is in 13 Reasons Why, the first season, it goes and changes in color by the timing of the show. That didn't make any sense. But basically, it was bright, happy colors when Hannah was still alive. But then when it was showing scenes when Hannah was dead, the colors were very like desaturated and gray and blue. So you could see that stark difference between scenes and know, oh, Hannah's still alive. Oh, Hannah's not alive.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that kind of use of like color in cinematography and in movies. And like color is just... it's such a visual, it's like the most important visual element. Well, I don't know if it's the most important, but it's up there. Yeah. I mean, there's so much of our lives that are described in color, you know, like.
Yeah. And even like makeup, you can color correct your face with different products you put on your skin. Like you can put on a green product on your face and it'll color correct your redness away. You can put a orange color on your face and it'll color correct the purple away because complementary colors, people.
Yeah, that's great. That's crazy. I didn't even know makeup could do that. What?
Yeah, it can do that.
I need green on my face because I am naturally a red person.
Yeah, and oh my gosh. Yeah, when I try to color
you must have
correct...
to put blue. Because I feel like that's the thing. Have you ever noticed that people have like certain undertone color to their skin? Yep.
So makeup, a lot of times makeup like concealer and foundation will have different shades and different, it'll have the same shade, but it'll say if you have pink undertones, then this is your shade. If you have yellow undertones, then this is your shade. And so you can pick your makeup depending on your skin undertone. So Anne and my skin undertones are very different. Yeah. Mine is yellow and hers is red. And so when we're trying to edit our photos, it's like, oh my gosh. Like I can edit it for my skin and then it'll make Anne's skin look more red. Yeah. Or we could edit it for Anne's skin and then I'll just look super pale and white. Yeah. It's hard, okay?
Yeah, I think it's hard. Feel sympathy for us.
But yeah, it's just crazy. But I want to know, like, what is the deal with colorblind people?
It's a good question. I actually have a friend who's colorblind. Shout out to you, David. And
Goes to Mozart.
And it's just kind of, I honestly forget because I believe his is red-green color blindness, and you can have different things. And so, like, for him, it's just hard for him to see certain red shades or certain green shades, or sometimes, like, green and blue, like, look the exact same, and it's hard to, like, distinguish them. So it just kind of depends. But, yeah, I also find that interesting, like, because, again, if we think of color as light, there's some part of your eye or some part of your brain that's, like, not registering that color correctly when, like, the light hits it, and it's just kind of... It's interesting. Or yeah, people who see like monochromatic, where it's like all just white to gray shades. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I find that interesting. I don't know why. Our brains, whenever I start thinking about my brain, I actually start to get a headache because my brain's like thinking about itself and it's like, I don't like this. Stop thinking about me. Now I'm going to give you a headache, so you stop.
Yeah. Because I'm just thinking of when you go to get an eye exam, you know when they hold up that thing and it's got like the blue and green dots all over it and you have to like cover your eye and try and tell the eye doctor the letter or the number that you see on it? Yeah. Do those people just not see anything on the board?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think they don't see it. It doesn't look like red or green. Like, that's how David describes it. Like, he sees everything like a normal person, but, like, you know, if you hold up an apple to him, he might say, like, it all looks either one color, even if it's multiple. Like, you know how apples, like, some are red, and they're kind of, like, they're shaded red and green. Like, it might look like the same color, or maybe it's just, like, it just looks like a grayish. Like, he describes it as, like, a grayish color, so he just doesn't see the red.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I really want to ask a colorblind person and just take them to the grocery store and be like, what is this color? What is this color? And then I'm like, is that insensitive?
It is. I don't know if it's insensitive as much as just like annoying for them because they get that their entire life. Because that's like David has said. He's like, as soon as I tell someone I'm colorblind, they go, well, what is this color? What does this color look like? Which I get that in a certain sense, because whenever I tell people that I don't like when knuckles get cracked, I don't like that sound. I have a physical reaction to that sound. People will they'll crack their knuckles every single time. Why? I just told you I don't like that. Emily! She's doing her neck. Oh, I can't handle the neck.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
With my neck.
Okay, yeah, that's my thought.
Okay, I'm all done now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
color is crazy.
It is. It's super fascinating, and I genuinely love it. I like to see different colors. I don't know. I like art. Color is fascinating. I love it. I really wish I was better at decorating my house with complimentary. You know, like when you walk into a nicely decorated home that has just really nice color schemes?
Yes.
I'm jealous.
Oh, that reminds me. I really love, what the heck is that color? It's like a...
Beige.
No.
Tan.
It's green.
White.
What's that color
lime,
green?
Forest.
Emerald.
Emerald
Green.
Emerald.
Oh, jewel tones. Oh, so pretty.
Yes.
And if you don't know what jewel tones...
Okay. We're in a full circle, people.
Yep.
I'm sorry. When I was in school, one of the big things that I had a teacher who was explicit about pink is not a color. Pink is not a color. It's not. It's a light version of red. Like, you wouldn't call pale yellow a different color. You wouldn't call pale yellow, like, I don't know, what's another name for a color that's not a color? I don't know. Dog. I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, pink is not its own separate color. It's just a light version of red. It's just
light
a desaturated red. It's just light red, exactly.
Or pale red.
Yeah. So why does pink get its own distinction and no other light blue or light, pink is its own thing, which it's pink. Get over it. I don't know. But it was just, I always found it hilarious because this particular teacher was just so adamant about that. And they didn't even want you to say pink in her class. Like, she was just like, you have to say light red. And I was like, okay, well, it's pink.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Crayola names, I mean, all the yellows and blues have different colors. It can be like cerulean or...
Caribbean.
Yeah, or macaroni and cheese color.
That is not a color.
Or...
I'm just saying that now. It's not.
Well, it's the color name of a crayon.
Well, Crayola gets it wrong.
Well, then why is there a different color for this purple and violet? She doesn't have a problem with violet?
I don't know.
Even though it's part blue and part purple?
I don't know. It's a good question. It was just pink. Pink was the one that came up.
Oh, I guess violet, since it is part pink or blue and purple, maybe that's why she thought it was fine, because it's mixing too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't like that.
Anyway.
Pink is a color. I understand you, Pink. I appreciate you. We love you. Pink.
You make it sound like we're in love with the singer.
Pink is my favorite color. Do you know that song?
Nope. Anyway, if you like pink, you should check out our Instagram or our Facebook or our Twitter.
Yeah, because we have a lot of pink on our pages. And you can find us at Love vs. Hate Podcast.
Yeah. And you could also email us if you want to tell us your favorite color, or if you want to give us feedback, you can email us at lovevshatepodcast@gmail.com.
Do it. I dare you. I triple dog dare you.
What? That's a triple dog dare. What's that from? It's from Christmas Story. No. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, Christmas is going to come, and Emily and I are going to talk about Christmas movies. I'm saying it now. I want to talk about Christmas movies.
That's a good idea, Anne.
That's a very good idea. After we also talk about, did we talk about Halloween, or was that before the one? I can't remember.
Yeah, we talked about, we're also going to talk about Halloween.
Oh
okay.
Yeah, Halloween costumes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right. Anyway,
yeah.
Emily, what is your life lesson from colors?
My life lesson is to never disrespect pink, because pink is its own color. And also just appreciate all the colors that you see, because it's crazy and amazing that we see all these colors, and it's not even all the colors that are in the world.
Yeah,
How crazy is that?
That's what's crazy. Yes.
What's yours?
My life lesson is to memorize the word analogous, and I promise, it's going to come up in conversation one day, and people are going to be super impressed that you know what analogous means. And as a reminder, it is colors on the color wheel that are next to each other. Complementary are colors that are opposite. So analogous, people. Use it.
It sounds like a Harry Potter spell.
Oh my gosh, it does.
Analogous.